Hey everyone, this is Get Your Life with your host D Thea, and I love my music. So y'all, well, I was just jamming to it, but guess what? We are here today to really jump into this Get Your Life podcast. And today, I really wanted to jump on this hot topic, right? So everybody's talking about December 21st, like yesterday. Yesterday was the Great Conjunction. I think, many of us melanin sisters and brothers, we done woke up with our superpowers, right? Right. But the truth of the matter is, there is some truth to that. And I think that sometimes we get really spooked by astrology or times and seasons, but if you're Bible readers, because some of y'all are, if you are, but if you're not and you're an astrologer, then you'll know that there is like rules and regulations for the universe. Okay, the universe is moving, it's orbiting, it's doing things in timing, timing to accuracy like none other. And when things like this happen, when that don't happen for but once every 400, every 800 years, I think we would do it well to really put some thought behind it. And I'm not saying for you to turn from your religious beliefs, but what I am saying is that there are things that we can learn from the universe and from what's happening in astrology. And according to that great conjunction, there were some things, some cycles that can come to an end. There were some things that are released to us as individuals, not just one group. Although, if me and my melanin sisters and brothers, we want to make this about us, we can. Okay. Get your life. Okay. But what I mean is, you should really think about that. I'll never forget. I was studying the different 12 tribes when I was looking at in the Bible, and they talked about how the tribe of Issachar, they understood times and seasons. Well, if you really go into it, what they did was they understood astrology. Mm. So what I'd like for everybody to do is really stop taking things and putting it into your individual boxes, but take the earth as a whole. We operate in a system, okay? We don't just operate on religion. We operate in a system that has been set in order by the greatest mind that none of us can understand. He said, we don't if we even try to understand what the creator has going on, we'd be real confused. But he's given us context clues. And so in this great conjunction, I call it the great awakening. Like, sister girl, brother man, if you listening, because I don't know who my audience is, but it's time for you to get your life. And when I say get your life, it's really time for you to bring some order into your life. Just like there is order in the celestials, there should be order in our everyday lives. Like, we should have a set time to get up and a set time to go to bed. We should have our goals in front of us and know what we're doing on a day by day. Like, what you're trying to do today, what will today benefit you? If you're gonna go get your life this next season, if things are gonna be different for you in 2021, okay, than it was in 2020, 2019, 2018, then you're going to have to do something different. And the one thing you're going to have to do different, girl, is get your life in order. Okay. So, on this Get Your Life podcast, it is my goal to bring a little humor to it, to bring you some truth, to put a mirror in front of us so that we can get to, begin to see who, what, when, where, and how, so that we can get our lives. It's time out for blaming Kiki, Mary, Ray, JoJo, John for the problems that we have. It is I'm like so over saying that because of my melanin skin, this, and this is not afforded to me. No, what's not afforded to me is the inability to see times and seasons. This is our best and defining hour. If you think if what you needed to hear was that on December 21st, you as a Black person got a superpower, then girl, get your superpower life. Okay. But if what you really want to hear is the truth, The truth is, you a superpower every day of your life. Do you hear me? You are a superpower. And it is time, girl, boy, man, woman, for us to get our lives, to get out of the stinking thinking, for us not to recognize that there are opportunities all around us. There are opportunities. And just because someone may be good at something and you don't see yourself in that same light, there are things that you can do that can shine. There are things that are created exactly for you. There are opportunities specifically for your skill set. He says your gift is going to make room for you, and it's going to bring you through great people. I mean, it's going to bring you to great people. So, the purpose of this podcast, oh my gosh, if I don't do nothing else, I want to encourage my sisters and my brothers, no matter where you are in this season and in this time. It is time. Hey, it's time to get your life. And when I say get your life, I mean take it back. Like you can say all of the cliche things. You can do all of the cliche things, but if nothing changes, nothing changes. And so this great conjunction, it is a wake-up call. Did you get superpowers? Absolutely, you did. Did they show up on December 21st? No, you had superpowers before December 21st. But maybe December 21st was an awakening for you. Maybe something in you, because of the alignment of the stars and the moon and whatever, maybe it shook you just a little bit more. Maybe just hearing about the one time in 400 years where things line up and release certain energy into the universe. Maybe that's what you need. Maybe that's what you need. But what I want to do is I want to encourage you that it's time for you to get your life. Oh my gosh. Yes. Okay. So this is the first podcast. I don't want to get preachy. Excuse me, I ain't taking up no offerings today. But I do want to encourage you to follow the podcast. Today we're live on Facebook, Facebook, YouTube, the podcast. But from here on out, we're going to be podcast only. We'll drop some commercials on these other places. But I really want you guys to get into the mindset of getting your life. Okay, so now we're going to switch into the show, guys. A little bit further into the show, to the second half. And the second half of this show, I'm super excited because I don't want my show to not give you something that you can move forward with in every aspect of your life. It's my attempt to enrich you, mind, body, and spirit, and business. Oh, all right, guys. I'm super excited because y'all, today, we get to talk to the CEO and owner and founder of Unscripted Media Group. Where she at? Where she at? My coach, my media coach, Shay Owens, is in the virtual building. Shay, welcome to the stage, girl.
Thank you, Boo. Thank you.
Yes.
I love it.
Guys. First of all, let me just send the virtual shout out. This girl here, she really, y'all, one of the baddest in the land. Okay. Aww. I mean, did y'all see how that worked? I introduced her and then she just showed up on the side of me. Yes. Okay. So, Shay, I know that we're moving into 2021. A lot of people are getting into this digital platform. I mean, actually, if we can just be honest, you were kind of thrown into this platform during this pandemic. That's what I call it, a pandemic, right?
Plan, right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was.
Tell us a little bit about that. You said it, God's plan. Tell us a little bit about how, just this climate allowed you to shift and what you've seen in your willingness to shift.
Well, that was the key thing, being willing. And so before COVID, I was, very active in my church, very active in the community, husband, kids, things like that. And I am a life coach. So I have my certification as a life and relationship coach. And that was my 100% focus. And I remember going to the church and saying, I think we should stream, live. And I just meant getting a little camera, hooking it up letting it stream to Facebook because that's what everybody was doing, right? And then
Right.
like 3 weeks later, COVID hit. Now I was already familiar with Zoom because Zoom, I was already using it for my clients. But then it was like everybody's using Zoom and Zoom was acting up, right?
Yeah.
And then people were coming on there forgetting that they were, at church, and they were coming like bedroom Baptists. They were coming like, bathroom congregation. And that just wasn't working. So I was seeing this different, I was talking with other, pastors, and I was talking with other people. And y'all, the way people were coming on camera was just crazy. So we had to come up with a different option because my pastor always says, good is not good enough where excellence is required. And when I heard
Right.
that, it stuck with me. And so if we're going to present excellence in our ministry, right? Because nobody knew COVID was going to last as long as it did. I was like,
Right.
let me find an alternative. Let me find a better way than Zoom for what we needed it to be. And so I had found different streaming platforms and things like that. And then it was just a plain background. So then I was like, well, let me look this up. My favorite YouTube university I went to, and I began to really search on how to, the looks. And then that's when webcams came in. I made sure that everybody who was going to be streaming had a webcam, ring
Right.
microphones, the things that really push you from being good to being excellent. And
And
that's how
before you,
Unscripted works.
and I want to key in on something you
Yeah.
said, because like this was not something you had planned on doing. Like literally
No.
you're being
Thrust.
through circumstance
Yeah.
redirected,
Hmm.
and now it's birth unscripted media.
Yeah. And the reason why is because I did the necessary work, right? So here was an opportunity. Didn't think it was going to make any money because I wasn't in it for money. I was in it for the betterment of furthering what God wanted me to do, which was just to be
Right.
a helper in the church. And so with that came, hey, let me do a few flyers, because I began doing flyers for the church. Then on top of that, then it was like, oh, I saw you did that. So now can you do this? And I was doing all of this. I was doing the photo shoots for people. I was streaming for people. I was doing everything for free. Uh-uh. I realized that it was taking a toll on me. And so I had to sit back and go, okay, how does this look? And then my pastor called one day and said, hey, I have another pastor that wants to work with you, and I need you to charge them. I don't need you to do that for free. And
See,
I was like, no, it's okay. I don't mind. It's
uh
okay. Pastor was like, no, you do
now,
not miss your opportunity. You do not miss your blessing
but
in
see,
your
wait,
gift.
but wait, stop, because you just did something that we all do. Like
Yeah.
we will know in the back of our minds that it's not working, right? But because we have this want to please people, or want to be considered, the servant style so
Right.
then you just kind of
Right.
be like, well, no, I really don't need the finance,
Right.
but technically
You
you
do.
really do.
You
And when
do.
it's your gift and it's making room for you,
Right.
then you do have the ability to charge for it. So we gonna have to come back
On and
to
on.
that
Right.
conversation,
Right.
because I do not want you to not be like, I really want you to give them the tips that you talked to me about earlier,
Hmm.
like the tips that you'd put out to your community. But for those of us who are really looking at becoming influencers, or who are really looking at having an online social media presence,
Hmm.
there are some things that we really have to go back to the drawing board for, so that we can present in excellence, right? So
Right.
what were some of the tips that you wanted to provide with the list to the listeners today?
Definitely. When we talk about branding and we talk about how you present yourself in front of
Mhm.
your ideal audience, right? Because literally somebody has all of 30 seconds that they're going to watch your video, or they're going to
Right.
watch something that you put out there, and whether or not you connect with them. If you don't connect with the person within the first 15 to 30 seconds, you lost them. So a
Right.
few things when you are doing your lives, no matter what platform you are using, because I'm not saying you have to go out there and get a paid platform. I'm not saying Zoom doesn't work. What I'm saying is how you present yourself when you're on these different platforms makes it. So we don't want to take 15 minutes to greet people or wait for people to come in and because you'll lose people like me. You'll lose people that
Right.
are looking to connect and maybe gain something from you, right? Um, you don't want to say, all right, I'm going to go ahead and wait. We're going to go ahead and wait about 15 minutes. We're going to go ahead and wait, because what happens is that may be okay for the people watching it live. It's not okay for the people watching the replay. So if you do that,
Ah,
it's the replay, right? Because a lot of people may not be
yeah.
on, let's say right now we're midday 1:15. More than likely people are not going to watch it again until they get off of work, or they're in the bed and they're doing the whole scroll, right?
Yeah.
So you don't want to spend 15 minutes waiting for people to come on, waiting to greet people. You're greeting every single person that comes in. And if you do that for the people that are watching the replay, then you want to put the timestamp, okay, as to when you really start the content, when you give them the meat and the potatoes, because your greeting is kind of like your appetizer, right? The meat and potatoes is why people stay connected to you and why they continue to watch. Know your audience. If you're an influencer, if you're just going live, you're just talking about whatever, cool, that's fine. But also for you, let's make sure that your camera angles are correct. You don't want the camera lower than eye level. You want to make sure that you remain at eye level with your camera. Now, for me, my camera is like right on my computer, but I'm still at eye level because there are certain things that maybe I need to read right on it, which, I mean, we're in virtual world, so people know that. You're
Absolutely.
going to look off to the side. You're going to do this. What you don't want to do is be this over here, and then you have all
Hmm.
this room. You want to make sure you are centered with your camera.
Yeah.
If you have a ring light, which you can see in my glasses, I have a ring light. Make sure the ring light, hopefully,
Yep.
is a lot of them come with the ability to attach your phone into there, which a lot of people stream from. You want to turn that phone sideways because
Mhm.
it gives you more of a wide shot versus it being narrow. And then you have all this blackness on the side of you. It makes it very difficult. Those are a few things. You want to make sure that your lighting is correct. It's nice
Yes.
to have a pretty background, but don't let that deter you from going live when you have a message or something powerful to share. Come out, sucker punch them in the stomach with the
Come
information,
on.
and then come on off. Show your personality. Don't
Shay, wait,
look.
before
They're not
you
a
go
news
in,
anchor. They're not a news
I
anchor.
know,
I'm
because
just
as y'all can see, like this is something that
information.
she's super passionate about, and I really appreciate it because how I met her was through this particular level of passion. She came across my live. There was something in my live that grabbed her attention, but then there were things that she asked me. She was like, "Hey, she popped in. Hey, let's chat after." I'm like, "Sure, we're gonna do it right after." And there were questions that she asked me, and I was like, you're absolutely right. It is time to level up. And we could, like, literally, if you see how Shay is like free in giving the information, she absolutely has that kind of giving heart. And that's what I love about unscripted media. So, before she do the whole class, get y'all whole together, put your
Oh,
whole stream yard together in this show. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ask y'all to stay real close and stay tuned, because in the next couple of weeks, Shay is going to be offering some courses, some things that you can do it yourself options, where she's going to be training in some areas. So stay tuned, because I'll be the first one to push it out on my show. Stay tuned to Unscripted Media, which is the actual marketing group, and then let us not forget the
Thursday.
Unscripted podcast. Oh my
Yes.
gosh. Yeah. Tell them a little bit about the Unscripted podcast that happens every Thursday.
I'm excited. We just have real legit conversations.
Yeah.
We talk about the things that people are afraid to talk about. Some of it may be emotional, some of it may be funny, but it's always going to be informative. I think that it's important that we expose the things that people are afraid to talk about. We talk about domestic violence, we talk about sexual abuse. So it's not all hard and heavy, and but we always want to leave you with something. We try and bring in experts. Deirdre, you're
Right.
on here with us, and I'm excited
Right.
to have you as a co-host on there. Your
Thanks.
energy is just, everything. I love it. And then we also have, Eliza Inez on there, and then this
Yes.
coming up.
Shout out Eliza. I
Yes,
mean, and it's It's a cool group of ladies. I'm loving the because I just got introduced to the ladies. I'm loving the camaraderie, and I really I believe that in this next season, it's going to be taking it back to the old school way. Like, I am my sister's keeper. I'm my sister's biggest cheerleader. What you need from me, what I need from
I
you.
got
Let's do
you.
this thing
Right.
together. Yes,
And then people keep, I want people to understand that collaboration looks completely different than partnership. And it's okay to promote someone else who's in the same field with you. It's okay to do that. You know what I'm saying? That really speaks on to who you are as a person. I don't have to be
absolutely.
insecure in trying to push somebody else's podcast because I have my own. No, there's room enough for all of us. And it's just about giving the information. So I'm excited about it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
There's so many doors opening up
Absolutely.
this year.
Yeah, and that's what the Get Your Life podcast will definitely feature. And so for any of you who are looking to really get your brand out and start getting on podcasts, then definitely Get Your Life and Unscripted. We have opportunity. We have some openings in our calendar right now for some certain subject areas. So feel free to reach out.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
never know. We may have you on as a guest. That would be super amazing. Well, I do. I think it's almost time. Like, am I
I,
doing good on time, Coach? I
I
think
think
I
you're
am.
great. I
Yes,
think
I
she's great.
am.
She can put her glasses back on. I think she's doing amazing.
Yes. Well,
Amazing.
thank you so much, guys. These podcasts, I'm not gonna keep you long. Coming up next month in January, we will be launching the Get Your Life Squad. Okay. I'll tell you a little bit more about that later. But that is the end of today's show. Don't forget, hey, there is a great conjunction coming on. There is greatness in each and every one of you. It is time for each and every one of us to get our life, be about our life, turn up, okay? Turn up your life because you know what? You only have one life to live, right? You
Make a
only
difference.
have one life to live. So
Yeah.
that is it for us today on the Get Your Life podcast with D Thea. Don't forget, like, subscribe, share, all of that. Okay? Peace. And I'm
Bye.
out.